So I normally do my garden tours early in the morning, mainly because it's quiet and I'm not here with lots of children. But, and the plants are normally super perky from not being in the heat all day. But I won't be coming out first thing in the morning. Chris is going to take over the morning duties tomorrow. And I just want to share with y'all some of the progress that's happened since I did the garden tour yesterday morning. This morning I pruned all the tomato plants, and several of them I've already started suckers again in different spots. Oh my gosh, y'all. How did I miss this today? How did I miss this today? Look at my first eggplant. Look at it. And there's a tick on the leaf. Tick. Gotta kill him. But how did I miss that eggplant? Okay, the tick is gone. Look, I'm so excited. And now my cucumber plants are really just taking off. This is exciting stuff. I have lots of pickles coming up soon. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I topped some of my peppers, trimmed the tops off of them. And I was freaking out because I didn't want to cut the plants that I had grown from seed. You know, if you've ever grown peppers from seed, then you know how long it takes for them to germinate and get ready to transplant. And it takes about 3 months total before you're really able to get them into the ground. But anyway, so I trimmed the top of my peppers, or some of them. I did half of them. So this is one that I did not trim. And I think this one is, I forget which this one is. Maybe this one's sweet banana pepper. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I did not trim this one. And you can see how leggy, or I say leggy, it's not really leggy, but how long it is. And then this one is one that I did trim. And as you can see, look at all the new leaves. So this one's actually a mammoth jalapeno, I believe. Maybe. No, I think this one was the mammoth jalapeno, and this one is a Big Bertha Bell. This one's a Big Bertha Bell. So I'm really curious to see as it grows. Gosh, look at all these weeds. As the pepper grows, how it compares to the other ones that I've topped, because I topped this one. So I topped this one, and you can see all the new growth that's coming up since I topped it. I topped this one, but this one was already starting to look a little rough, but it looks like it's bouncing back. This one I did not top. That one I did not top. This one I did top. This is a sweet banana pepper. And I didn't mess with any of the other peppers in the other beds. Some of my peppers did not make it. This one died, and this one's just kind of puny. Yeah, these are jalapenos on this side, and I have some little blooms coming up. Oh, there's another sweet banana pepper. I didn't notice it because the nasturtium is leaning towards it, so I need to fix that. Okay, come this way, nasturtium. Get all these weeds out of here. So sweet banana pepper that I did not top, and one that I did top. You may also remember recently that my curly leaf basil was bolting. Actually saw something similar on Baker Creek's website on their digital catalog. that was calling this lettuce leaf basil. But anyway, I don't know if it's the same thing, but this was curly leaf basil from the local farmer that I got it at the farmer's market as a plant start. So I had topped the basil, and then I harvested the leaves because I thought it was going to die. I've never grown this variety of basil before, but anyway, so I cleaned it down to just the stem and the very top, and I topped it, and when I did, it just started growing back again. And so I just recently topped that one and have the stem, the leaves from that one drying in the window of the kitchen. So we'll see if that one does the same thing. I've never grown this variety before, so I'm not familiar with how to harvest it. And that's always one of my garden fails when it comes to gardening. I can get something growing, I can keep it alive, I can have it producing fruit, but I'm always so scared to harvest for some reason. I just do not know why. I want it to grow a little bit longer, or maybe it's not ready. I mean, I've just always been that way. I'm not sure exactly why. And that's why most of our okra last year just got too big, because I was just not ready to pick it. And with okra, it gets kind of out of hand. You could come out and have little tiny pods in the morning, and by afternoon they're too big. So you kind of have to check them multiple times a day, unfortunately, to get maximum results and maximum yield that you can actually eat, because otherwise the okra, it just gets too tough and you can't really do anything with it when you boil it. It gets like, I don't know how to describe it, but when the pod gets too big, it kind of tastes like tree bark. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of like woodsy. I don't know what you call it, but anyway. So that's always been one of the things that I've struggled with as far as gardening goes, is when to harvest. And a lot of times my fruit and produce is almost rotting on the stem when I go to pull it, and I have to eat it immediately, and I can't preserve it sometimes because I've waited too long, and it's not preservable because it's not optimum produce. But anyway, just random garden thoughts while I'm sitting here weeding. Got a lot to do. Also got a decent amount of ground cherries harvested. This is our first year growing them and our first time ever trying them, and no one here really likes them. So I need to see if I can find someone that wants these ground cherries. They're very unique flavor, and no one here really likes them. So okay, y'all, it is still Tomato Tuesday, so I wanted to share this. I pruned this guy earlier today, and look how quickly this sucker has grown back in almost 12 hours. And I also want to show you something on this beefsteak tomato. Since last night, this thing has doubled in size. Like, so crazy. This one's gotten bigger too, but it hasn't doubled. This one has doubled in size in one day, in 24 hours. And then, let me show you this Cherokee purple tomato I have. So this morning, when I was taking a picture of a sucker, which I decided to leave this sucker because I'm too scared that it's too close to the top, I found that I had a little fruit right here. What I didn't have this morning, which I have now, is another little fruit. So we got two little tomatoes here on this one. So crazy how just the right conditions will make stuff just pop. And then look at these zucchini that I shared this morning too. Look how much bigger these are. These are almost ready to harvest. I might can do this one tomorrow. And this one's not quite big enough, but this one's big enough, so I could probably harvest both of these tomorrow. Maybe on Friday, these will be perfect, and this one, and we'll have 3 golden zucchini to eat. So exciting. This gray zucchini's coming along great too. I think my hand pollinating did work on this one, because that one's still looking pretty good. Awesome, so exciting. Okay, I was talking a minute ago about not knowing when to harvest. So I looked it up, and this one is probably ready to harvest. So, like I said earlier, I'm gonna wait for that other one over there on the other plant to get a little bigger, and then I'll harvest them both at the same time so that I have 2. And then we will have our first golden zucchini ever, and our first golden zucchini from the Super Fresh garden. This morning I took off some plants that were not going to be edible, and I can see that this one is starting to die off. It must not have gotten pollinated, so I'm going to go ahead and clip it. I clipped 3 this morning, and there's really just no use in keeping this fruit and having the plant put energy into something that's not going to be edible, and it will. You can see how it's still trying to grow it. So I'll go give this to the chickens. They'll eat it. I don't see any more, but that's something that you just have to do for maintenance. I mean, you could easily just let Mother Nature do its thing, but I'm really trying my best this year to get maximum yield on all of the garden, not just one particular type. I want every plant to be at its maximum potential, and if I can do a little bit of extra work, which is great for my mental health, then so be it. Oh, a hummingbird just flew by. Where did it go? They're my favorite. Maybe I need to hang a feeder up out here. Really close to getting some flowers on these Christmas pole beans. And real quick, I just can't get over how many orange flowers I'm seeing in this bed. I thought all these had died. I planted these, let me think, early April. We had a very hot April, and I thought, yes, our gardening season starting early. So I went ahead and transplanted the plants that I had in the greenhouse, and I thought that they died because we had to cover these with a frost blanket probably 15 different nights. But look at how awesome they are gonna do. I'm not really pruning them right now. I'm letting them get their fruit set and start getting that done, but I am gonna get all these weeds out. But I'm gonna let them start setting fruit before I start trying to prune them back and then stake them up to grow them vertically.